Most people have no idea, but the Philippines is literally sitting on top of $26 trillion in oil reserves. Yes, you heard that right. $26 trillion. That's enough to buy entire countries or build cities from scratch. And yet, despite all this natural resources wealth, the Philippines still spends a fortune importing oil every single day. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Well, that's because almost nobody talks about this story, and those who do barely scratch the surface. But here's where things get really wild. This isn't just a story about oil. It's about power, control, and a possible economic transformation that could shake the whole world. We're talking about energy independence on a level the Philippines has never seen before. But if this treasure is real, why hasn't the country claimed it yet? What kind of geopolitical tension is stopping one of Asia's richest regions from becoming its next energy giant? Stick with me, because once you understand this hidden game, you'll never look at the South China Sea dispute the same way again. Imagine sitting on a mountain of gold, but instead of gold, its oil reserves worth an eye-popping $26.3 trillion. That's exactly the crazy reality of the Philippines. Beneath its turquoise waters, in places like the Reed Bank, Mischief Reef, and the mysterious Spratly Islands, lie natural resources so valuable they could flip the country's fate overnight. And yet, here we are, the Philippines producing just 9,650 barrels of oil per day while burning through 429,000 barrels daily. Feels like owning a Ferrari, but walking to work, right? But wait, it gets even wilder. These oil reserves aren't just numbers sitting in some boring report. We're talking about a potential economic transformation that could catapult the Philippines from oil importer to energy superpower. Energy independence wouldn't just mean cheaper gas. It would rewrite the country's entire future. And if you think that's impressive, just wait till you see how these numbers compare globally. Oh, and hey, if you're enjoying this mind-blowing story so far, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe, because what I'm about to reveal next will blow your mind even more. Now, let me tell you something that'll really put things in perspective. Kuwait, yes, that oil giant in the Middle East, has around 13 billion barrels of oil reserves. And the Spratly Islands alone, right there in the Philippines' backyard, are believed to have 17.1 billion barrels. That's not just a little more. That's a power move waiting to happen. Imagine holding a winning lottery ticket but being too busy to scratch it. Sounds insane, right? What's even crazier is this. While nations like Saudi Arabia built their empires on oil, the Philippines has all this untapped natural resources potential sitting right beneath its feet, or waves, I should say. The idea that this country could outclass energy giants on the global stage is not a dream. It's a mathematical reality. But of course, having oil reserves is one thing. Using them is a whole different game. And speaking of using them, let's talk about what the Philippines is actually doing right now to change this story. After decades of letting this treasure nap underwater, the Philippines is finally shaking things up. The revival of the Catalao oil field, a site that's been sleeping since the 1990s, is the first bold step toward claiming energy independence. We're talking about 6.2 million barrels of recoverable oil just waiting to fuel not only cars and factories, but an economic transformation like never before. It's like finding an old piggy bank from your childhood, only this one's stuffed with barrels of black gold. The Philippine government's move is clear. Start small, build momentum, and send a message to the world. We're coming for our oil. But as exciting as this sounds, the road to tapping these oil reserves isn't paved with roses. Oh no, the real drama begins when we look at the powerful forces that don't want this to happen. Curious? Then you'll definitely want to hit that subscribe button, because what's coming next is pure geopolitical theater. Now here's where the plot thickens like heavy crude oil. You see, the South China Sea dispute is not just about lines on a map. It's about control over oil reserves worth trillions. The Spratly Islands, Mischief Reef, Reed Bank, they're sitting right in the middle of one of the world's hottest geopolitical flashpoints. And trust me, when geopolitical tension enters the chat, things get messy. The Philippines isn't just battling nature to extract its natural resources. It's up against regional giants like China, Vietnam, Malaysia, and others, all flexing their muscles in these disputed waters. It's like a high-stakes poker game, except the chips are barrels of oil. And while the Philippines dreams of energy independence, it must carefully navigate through this diplomatic minefield. But guess what? Even with all these obstacles, the clock is ticking, and the country has no choice but to act, especially with its energy backbone running out soon. Meet the Malampaya gas field, the current superstar of the Philippines' energy world. For years, this powerhouse has been delivering 3,200 megawatts of electricity to Luzon, the country's largest island. But here's the scary part. It's drying up fast. Experts predict it could run out by 2027. That's right. The Philippines is staring down a ticking time bomb in its energy independence journey. Without Malampaya, the country faces skyrocketing fuel imports and a vulnerable energy grid. And remember those giant oil reserves just sitting there? This might just be the final push the Philippines needs to speed things up. But don't think it's all doom and gloom, because new discoveries across the country are popping up like mushrooms after the rain. Ready to see where these hidden gems lie? Let me take you there. From the far reaches of Mindanao's Laguasan Marsh to the waters of Benham Rise, the Philippines is discovering oil and gas like a pirate stumbling onto a treasure map. In places like Alagaria and Cebu, they found 27.9 million barrels of oil and billions of cubic feet of natural gas. That's not just good news. That's life-changing news for an economy hungry for energy independence. And then there's Benham Rise, a place so mysterious, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. Instead of typical oil reserves, this area might hold gas hydrates, often called fire ice. This exotic form of energy could be a total game-changer if the technology to harvest it matures. The question now isn't if the Philippines has the natural resources. The real question is, where else are they hiding? And what comes next is even more thrilling. Now here's where strategy meets opportunity. The Philippines has several exploration areas within its exclusive territory that aren't tangled up in the South China Sea dispute. Think Sulu Sea, Celebes Sea, Mindanao, places rich in hydrocarbons and free from geopolitical tension. This is where the smart money looks because the risks are lower and the potential is enormous. It's like having your own private backyard full of untapped natural resources while everyone else is fighting over the front yard. This is a golden ticket for economic transformation, job creation, and yes, true energy independence. But don't go thinking it's all smooth sailing just yet. The risks aren't gone, they're just different. And speaking of risks, let's talk about the elephant in the room, geopolitical drama. When it comes to the South China Sea dispute, things aren't just tense, they're explosive. Multiple countries, powerful navies, and centuries of rivalry all mixed together in these troubled waters. For the Philippines, drilling oil isn't just about technology, it's about diplomacy, survival, and guts. Investors hesitate not because of the lack of oil reserves, but because geopolitical tension can turn business into a battlefield overnight. But let me tell you, no great treasure ever came without risk. And the Philippines? It's gearing up for the fight of its life, determined to secure energy independence and stake its rightful claim. The future is calling, and it's louder than ever. But what will that future look like? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into next. Here's the trillion-dollar question. Will the Philippines finally unlock its hidden power? With a government more focused than ever, new international partnerships, and growing urgency from its looming energy crisis, all signs point to yes. But of course, the journey to energy independence won't be easy. It never is. Still, the stage is set for one of the greatest economic transformations in Southeast Asia's history. The country stands on the edge of something extraordinary, a future where natural resources fuel not just cars, but dreams, jobs, and prosperity for generations. And if you think this story is over, oh buddy, it's only just beginning. Now tell me, be honest, did you ever imagine the Philippines was sitting on $26 trillion in oil reserves this whole time? Feels like discovering a secret level in a video game, right? But this isn't just about oil. It's about understanding how the world really works. Because while most people only see headlines, you just learned what's behind them. Geopolitical tension, energy independence struggles, and a possible economic transformation that could change millions of lives. But here's the question that really matters. If this is just one hidden fact, how many more secrets like this exist out there, waiting to be discovered? How many times have we missed powerful stories because no one told us where to look? The truth is, knowledge like this separates ordinary people from those who really understand the world. And I'm here to tell you, if you want to be part of that smart, curious, successful group, The first step is easy. Subscribe to this channel, turn on the notifications, and come learn with me. Because believe me, this is just the beginning.